Hi everyone, happy Easter and happy spring. I love what the botanical world throws up at this time of the year. The flowers and the fragrances are crisp and clean and bright and light. And after a long winter, it's so pleasurable to see all the spring flowers come into their own. Every Easter, I like to do a design for the kids when they come, and it either is going to sit on the table or it's going to sit at my front door, or I hide it so that they can go and find it. This design is fantastic, and it's got lots of interesting things into it. But what I do is I get a trough or a wooden box. I like the wooden box and the lovely outside textures of the box, because it sort of gives it a lovely sort of an earthy organic look. You could use any kind of a container, but for the look that I want, I love this type of box. The other thing I do is when it's bulb planting time, I line it with a little bit of plastic, put some holes into it, and then I fill it with soil and I put my bulbs into it, and I leave it until they start to appear. For today's exercise, because I'm in the middle of my summer, actually I'm at the end of my summer, I've just put some foam into there. I would have put some chicken mesh in, but when you see all the components I'm going to use, you'll understand why I've got the foam into there. Now I've got a whole array of beautiful spring flowers. I've got the blossom, the forsythia. So you can either use your fresh bulbs, or you could use the artificial as I'm doing here. And then if you wanted to, you can put some living or cut spring flowers into the design to just take it to a new level. And it's always lovely with the blossom. I love it at this time when it comes out. It's just gorgeous, and those beautiful colours. And when anybody says to you, "No, I don't think you should put the yellow with the pink," I think that the spring is the perfect time to put all of the colours together, because it just represents new life. And if nature has done it, you can do it too. Okay, to begin, I'm going to put in the blossom first, and you could probably, if you wanted to, just like as I said, just use the fresh branches, and you could just use little wee containers and put the containers to hold the water down in amongst the soil. Good wee trick. Okay, so I've only got 2 of those, and that's the other thing about the spring. The spring doesn't offer much, but that's okay. And I want this to be like a little garden. So I'm just going to shove these bits into here and make it look like little trees that are growing and coming out of the ground, or like, growing up. And with this one, I'm just going to be very careful there, because I might be just going to make a big mess. So I'm just going to put that there. So pretty much all I'm doing is just doing something that's going to just appear as if I'm bringing the nature or the spring in. This would be fantastic if you've got elderly relatives that are in care. You could take them as a little wee surprise and bring the spring inside. And I think that by using the artificial, it is great because they don't die, because most aged care facilities are kept at a warm temperature to keep everybody that doesn't move around very much at a nice constant temperature. Okay, now I've got one more piece here, so I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to bring that down and over and into there. And if some of the bits are sort of like you're like going in the wrong direction, that doesn't matter, because we want something that's nice and natural. Now the next thing to go in is going to be the little soldiers or paper whites, and I've got a little selection over there, and I'm going to bring the others over and into this side. And when you're putting your forms in, just remember how they grow. And when you look at this bulb here, the flowers, the leaves come up, and then from one point, see from there, everything comes from one point through the bulb, and it's reaching up. So just put the flowers in as if they were growing. Now I've got these, and look at this. See, it's just looking like spring. So I'm going to put this one over and into here so that it's just a little bit lower. And don't forget that when these are growing, they come up at all different times and at all different heights. So there's no hard and fast rules. Now I've got a hydrangea, so I'm going to bring that hydrangea into there. Even though you don't really get hydrangeas at this time at the beginning of the spring, sometimes you do. So I just thought, I'm going to use you. And instead of cutting these, a little tip from me is to just take that off there. That should just come off it does. I don't want that leaf, but what I do want is this. So I'm just going to push that down into there, cut that little bit off there, and because I've got that there, I'm going to bring that over to there. Violets come at this time of the year, so I'm just going to put those into there. And it's looking so good at this stage. Now, for a little bit of something whimsical, I really love these. I found these ages ago. Have a look on Amazon, and I think the other place I think I might have seen on their website was Michael's and the Dollar Tree. But you could actually make your own, and these are just little bits of cotton wool that have all been coloured to match what I think are the colours that represent the spring. So, I wanted those in there because it's going to give a little bit of visual interest. Now, when it comes to placing these, I'm just going to bring that up and into there. I'm not cutting anything at this stage. Now, when you buy these come and they look like that. So you have to get your hands into there and just give it a little bit of movement so that you can actually see them. And with this one up here, I just a little bit of movement so that it looks like it's more natural. Now, the next thing I'm going to do with this one is I am going to cut this because, get your cutters, and I want this one to go over there, down there and through and into this area around the back here, and then just move these around so that you can see them from all sides. You may not see them from all sides, but it actually gives a bit of movement because you might want to put this up against a wall. But I like to do things that you can see from both sides, and I think that two's all that I need. Now, the next thing is I was going to use this to cover my workings, but when you look at it, to me that's just a little bit too mossy green. So what I have done, get rid of that, is I've got a little bit of artificial grass which I'm going to put down and into there to cover the workings into there. Now, you might need to move these over a bit, but at this stage I'm okay with that. Now, what else have I got? I've got some little eggs, which I'm just going to put into there. Oh, the kids will love it. You could put those into a bird's nest if you wanted to, but I think that will be fine as it is. And I've got this little nest here with some eggs in it. I'm just going to bring that just down and into there. So it's just a whimsical, whatever you feel like creating to stimulate somebody's eye that's going to have a look, be looking at it. Right, the next thing is I've got this bigger egg and I'm going to fill that with some water. Some nice fresh water, and on my back bench I've got a rose, a little spray rose that I thought would be just beautiful. You could actually put violets into something like this, but I just want that to sit there. And I love Tweedy, and even though it's a summer flower, I'm going to take artistic license and I'm going to put into here what I want, because when I look at the colour of the Tweedy, which is soft and gentle, even forget-me-nots would be lovely, but I didn't have any of those. But I thought that when I saw the Tweedy, you'll be just perfect for what I want to do. Now, when you're working with Tweedy, you have to be a little bit careful because this stuff has a sap that comes out of it, a white milky substance, and you can see, can you see that coming out of there? That can cause the worst itch on your skin. So if you are working with a lot of this, make sure you wear gloves. So that can just go into there like that, and then this can just sit and, I love it, it's exactly what I imagined. Look at that. Now that leaf there is annoying me. So what I'm going to do with that is I'll just push that over to there, and then I'll just get rid of this because I do not want an itch. And then I've got a couple of little bunnies. So whatever number, if you might have 3 or 4 little children that come to visit you, so you can just decide how many of these you want to put into here. And to get them to sit, all I'm doing is using a toothpick, inserting a clean toothpick, inserting that down up into the bunny, and then that, just put that there. And I've got a few holes, so to cover those holes, what I'm now going to do around here is I'm going to put these little bits of, in fact I only need that over to there, so what I've done is to just take it and extend the design over ever so a little bit more and to soften that edge, just bringing that over. So I think that towards the back actually with the grass gives it a bit of depth. Isn't that just too cute? Happy Easter, everyone. Enjoy your family time, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.